Alright, so a lot of you have already seen this video. We know what the deal was. We know the guy targeted him, wrote something on the casings, but there's been a lot of controversy as to the weapon used and why he had to keep cycling it by hand. So I've got some ideas about it, so let me show you what I'm thinking. What's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is brought to you by United Healthcare. I'm just kidding. Okay, so really, I came here to do two things. Give you a little insight to this weapon on my side, and also I wanted to show you guys what happens when you mount a fixed suppressor with no piston system on a tilting barrel pistol. So first things first, the weapon of today is my Glock 17 in my 2020 Recover Tactical brace. This is a brace, and we're going to be firing some 147 grain subsonic. So we've all seen the video lately going around on the tube of the United Healthcare guy that was, and everyone had their speculations as to what kind of gun it was. Some people thought it was a B&T. What the heck else? Oh, a well rod. They said that the guy had to repeatedly rack the weapon. Well, this is what I think it was. Not necessarily a Glock 17, but I think it was something of a semi-automatic tilting barrel pistol. And I'll show you why. So, through the magic of videography, it's on there. So, if you look at the operation of a semi-automatic tilting barrel pistol like so, when I rack it, the barrel tilts upwards, and you could tell this suppressor, it doesn't quite touch. Maybe it does just a hair. Touches the recoil rod there. Not quite. Anyways, you can see the barrel tilts upwards. If I put even a little bit of pressure there, you can see how hard it is for me to rack this. Now this is a recoil operated firearm, which means every time I pull the trigger, that cartridge is pushing back. The barrel can move back slightly, and then the barrel drops and unlocks, and the cycle continues, and then it loads another round. When you suppress one of these handguns, you have to have what they call a Nielsen device, or a booster device, or a piston device. There's a bunch of names for it. I just call it a booster. It's a device that goes right here, and there's a spring in there, and basically it allows a little bit of extra movement in the suppressor. And if you watch it in slow-mo, you can see it move in the suppressor. Little bit of give so this tilting barrel can actually tilt and operate properly. Without that device, with a fixed suppressor like this, I don't think the gun is going to operate. So let me show you that real quick. Now you can still shoot the gun this way. It'll still send a round down range. Again, 147 subsonic. I can still rack it just fine. I'm gonna step over here and fire around, and if this ejects, I'll be really surprised. But let's find out. So, super quiet. I think it sounds cool, but I have a dead trigger. So, let's rack it. We've now got another round in the chamber. And there you go. There goes a spent shell casing. So, check this out. Dead trigger. It did not cycle. There goes the spent casing. And there you go. So essentially, when you run a big can like this, it's really heavy, and you run it on the end of a semi-auto pistol tilting barrel. You turn it into a bolt action. I'll give you guys another shot here, and you can see exactly what happens. It does not move. Now, do this at your own risk. What I'm going to attempt is to put a little bit of upward pressure on the suppressor. It's starting to get a little warm, but it's fine because it's about 30 degrees today. That's why I'm bundled up. So, well, today, I'm gonna put a little bit of upward pressure on this suppressor, and I'm gonna see if that helps it cycle. Just kind of rest my hand on it. It tried, but not quite. And I know this is a functioning pistol. Glocks are a little finicky sometimes. Even with a booster system, you want to have a lighter recoil spring. Sometimes you get away without them. I know this pistol functions just fine, so there's no concerns there. And if I tell you quietness, the dogs were barking well before I got out here. It sounds equivalent to me throwing a rock at a tree because there's no moving action, nothing cycling, anything like that. We're using 147 grade subsonics. It literally sounds like I'm throwing a rock at a tree downrange. Stupid quiet. So yeah, someone in the middle of a city, who knows, maybe they intentionally use something like that. If you ever hear any of my other semi-autos, fixed barrels, and you can hear the clinking going on, those semi-autos are a lot louder with the same suppressor than this pistol is right now. So that's it. That's all you hear. A slap. But anyways, I think it's a really cool concept to help put a brace on a Glock. I think the Flux would probably be a better setup, or one of those Chinese knockoffs, personally. But these things were like $100 and I wanted to try it out. It's stable. Take one more shot with this thing and you can see it absorbs everything. It's very stable. So, anywho, it's just that class of weapon, that machine pistol type setup, kind of like a Mac 11 roll, if you will. Now, a Mac 11 would cycle just fine with a suppressor on the end of it because it has a fixed barrel and a reciprocating bolt. So there's a big part of me that really wants to go get one of those MPA Defenders that take Glock mags because I got so many of them, and it would probably be slightly smaller than this and a more concealable package, and I can put a legitimate side folding brace on that thing. I could put a red dot on that thing. So pros and cons. But if all you got is a Glock and you want something that can turn into this, and you got a red dot on your Glock and you want something that you can lob rounds downrange more accurately, you know, with a red dot, this thing would be perfect. But they're harder to suppress, as you can see. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you like the fit. And I'll catch you next time.